Clotted cream is a thick cream made by indirectly heating full cream cow's milk using steam or a water bath and then leaving it in shallow pans to cool slowly. During this time, the cream content rises to the surface and forms clots, or clouts. It forms an essential part of a cream tea. Although its origin is uncertain, the cream's production is commonly associated with dairy farms in southwest England and in particular the counties of Cornwall and Devon. The current largest commercial producer in the UK is Rodda's in Redruth, Cornwall, which can produce up to 25 tons of clotted cream a day. In 1998 the term Cornish clotted cream became a protected designation of origin by European Union directive, as long as the milk is produced in Cornwall and the minimum fat content is 55%. Description: Clotted cream has been described as having a nutty, cooked milk flavor, and a rich sweet flavor with a texture that is grainy, sometimes with oily globules on the crusted surface. It is a thick cream, with a very high fat content. In the United States it would be classified as butter. For comparison, the fat content of single cream is only 18%. Despite its popularity, virtually none is exported due to its short shelf life. Due to its high saturated fat content, the regular consumption of clotted cream is usually thought to be bad for health, though some dairy fat in the diet is considered beneficial. A 2006 survey of nutrition professionals ranked clotted cream as the least healthy of 120 foods selected to be representative of the British diet. According to the United Kingdom's Food Standards Agency, a 100-gram tub of clotted cream provides 586 kilocalories, roughly equivalent to a 200-gram cheeseburger. History: Originally made by farmers to reduce the amount of waste from their milk, clotted cream has become so deep-rooted in the culture of southwest England that it is now a tourist attraction. While there is no doubt of his strong association with Cornwall and Devon, it is not clear where it first originated. It is similar to kaimak, a Near Eastern delicacy that is made throughout the Middle East, Southeast Europe, Iran, Afghanistan, India and Turkey. According to the Oxford Companion to Food, it may have been introduced to Cornwall by Phoenician traders in search of tin. However, ancient food experts, noting Strabo's commentaries on Britain, have proposed that the early Britons would probably have clotted cream to preserve its freshness. More recently, regional archaeologists have associated the stone fogger, or souterrains, found across Atlantic Britain, France and Ireland as a possible form of cold store for dairy production of milk, cream and cheese in particular. Similar functions are ascribed the Linney stone-built form, often used as a dairy in later medieval longhouses in the same regions. It has long been disputed whether clotted cream originated in Devon or Cornwall, and which county makes it the best. There is evidence that the monks of Tavistock Abbey were making clotted cream in the early 14th century. After their abbey had been ransacked by Vikings in 997 AD, the monks rebuilt it with the help of Ordulf, Earl of Devon. Local workers were drafted in to help with the repairs, and the monks rewarded them with bread, clotted cream and strawberry preserves. The 1658 cookery book The Complete Cook had a recipe for clotted cream. In the 19th century it was regarded as better nourishment than raw cream because the cream was liable to go sour and be difficult to digest, causing illness. An article from 1853 calculates that creating clotted cream will produce 25% more cream than regular methods. In Devon, it was so common that in the mid-19th century it was used in the formative processes of butter, instead of churning cream or milk. The butter made in this way had a longer lifespan and was free from any negative flavors added by the churning. It has long been the practice for local residents in southwest England, or those on holiday, to send small tins or tubs of clotted cream by post to friends and relations in other parts of the British Isles. Food regulations for perishable goods prohibit it being sent abroad. EU directives In 1993, an application was made for the name Cornish clotted cream to have a protected designation of origin in the European Union for cream produced by the traditional recipe in Cornwall. This was accepted in 1998. Cornish clotted cream must be made from milk produced in Cornwall and have a minimum butter fat content of 55%. The unique, slightly yellow, Cornish clotted cream color is due to the high carotene levels in the grass. Preparation. Traditionally, clotted cream was created by straining fresh cow's milk, letting it stand in a shallow pan in a cool place for several hours to allow the cream to rise to the surface, then heating it either over hot cinders or in a water bath, before a slow cooling. The clots that had formed on the top were then skimmed off with a long-handled cream skimmer, known in Devon as a reamer or ramer. By the mid-1930s, the traditional way of using milk brought straight from the dairy was becoming a rarity in Devon because using a cream separator actively separated the cream from the milk using centrifugal force, which produced far more clotted cream than the traditional method from the same amount of milk. As a farmer's wife in Poundgate said, the separator saves a whole cow. Today, there are two distinct modern methods for making clotted cream. The float cream method includes scalding a floating layer of double cream in milk in shallow trays. To scald, the trays are heated using steam or very hot water. After the mixture has been heated for up to an hour, it is slowly cooled over 12 hours or more, before the cream is separated and packaged. The scald cream method is similar, but the milk layer is removed and a layer of cream which has been mechanically separated to a minimum fat level is used. This cream is then heated in a similar manner, but at a lower temperature, and after a set amount of time it is then chilled and packaged. In the United Kingdom, the resultant cream is deemed to be equivalent to pasteurized for legal purposes. Unlike pasteurization, however, there is no requirement for the temperatures to be recorded on thermograph charts. As the temperatures are lower than used in standard pasteurization, much care is needed in ensuring high standards of hygiene. The largest UK manufacturer is Rodda's, a family-owned business based in Scoria, Cornwall. Founded in 1890, the company was producing over £1 million per year in 1985, and in 2010 the managing director said that they might produce as little as 5 or 6 tons a day in January, but up to 25 tons a day as Christmas approached. In the early 1980s, Rodda's signed deals with international airlines to serve small tubs of clotted cream with the in-flight desserts, and the company considers the annual Wimbledon Tennis Championships one of their peak selling periods. As a byproduct, for every 100 imperial gallons of milk used, 94 imperial gallons of skimmed milk is produced, which is then used in food manufacture. One Devon manufacturer, Definitely Devon, was purchased by Robert Wiseman Dairies in March 2006, closing one of the 2 Devon dairies and moving all production to Oakhampton. However, in 2011 Robert Wiseman sold the Definitely Devon brand to Rodda's, who moved the production of Definitely Devon to Cornwall, which caused some controversy as the name was not changed, prompting an investigation by trading standards. Throughout Cornwall and southwest England, clotted cream manufacture is a cottage industry, with many farms and dairies producing cream for sale in local outlets. As clotted cream is not regularly available outside southwest England, there are a number of ways to create an approximation. One example is to mix mascarpone with whipped cream, a little sugar and vanilla extract. Outside Cornwall and Devon, clotted cream is produced in Somerset, Dorset, Herefordshire, Pembrokeshire, and the Isle of Wight. Uses Cream tea Clotted cream is an essential part of a cream tea, a favourite with tourists in Cornwall and Devon. It is served on scones a euro, or the more traditional splits in Cornwall a euro with strawberry or raspberry jam, along with a pot of tea. Traditionally, there are differences in the way it is eaten in each county. In Devon, the cream is traditionally spread first on the scone, with the jam dolloped on top. In Cornwall the jam is spread first with a dollop of cream. Cream teas spread to southern Australia as early immigrants from Cornwall and Devon took their traditional recipes with them. In 2010, Langage Farm in Devon started a campaign for Devon cream tea to have protected designation of origin similar to Cornish clotted cream. One variation on a cream tea is called Thunder and Lightning, which consists of a round of bread topped with clotted cream and golden syrup, honey or treacle. Confectionery It can be used as an accompaniment to hot or cold desserts. Clotted cream, especially clotted cream from Devon, where it is less yellow due to lower carotene levels in the grass, is regularly used in baking. It is used throughout the southwest of England in the production of ice cream and fudge. Savory dishes. Clotted cream is used in some savory dishes, and can be incorporated into mashed potato, risotto or scrambled eggs. Historical. Cabbage cream was a delicacy in the mid-17th century. Layers of clotted cream were interspersed with sugar and rose water, creating a cabbage effect when served. It was a common accompaniment to junket, a milk-based dessert which went out of fashion in the mid-20th century. Literature and folklore. It was mentioned in the Shroud's Calendar, a poem by Edmund Spenser in 1579. As with many Cornish and Devonian icons, clotted cream has become entrenched in local folklore. For example, one myth tells of Jenny who enticed the giant blunderbore by feeding him clotted cream. He eventually fell in love with her and made her his fourth wife. Another myth, from Dartmoor, tells of a princess who wanted to marry an elven prince, but according to tradition had to bathe in pure cream first. Unfortunately, a witch who wanted the prince for her daughter kept souring the cream. Eventually, the prince offered the princess clotted cream, which the witch was unable to sour. See also, Clabber, Malai, Kaimark. References. Further reading, Jolly, S. Clotted Cream. Encyclopedia of Food Sciences and Nutrition pages 1692 €1697. doi, 10.1016000309-6. ISBN 9780122270550. Rodda's Origin.